All right, everybody, it's time for another episode of DWMOD. Man, we got a good one here for you. Extended a couple of days. We put it together. Andy St. Clair's in the house as always. We'll be getting into it. Louis, what are we talking about this week? You got us going here. We got some NBA gambling and the Pistons. We got Major League Baseball All-Star voting. We're losing a legend. The NBA just can't get out of its own way, guys. Crazy rushing yards, Achilles heels, ignorant logic, and all that before we give some flowers to the next generation of athletes from the neighborhood. Hey, Louis, take it away, brother. Let's go.
We cutting loose.
Touchdown.
Ready? College football is now B1G versus SEC.
Down. Hook.
If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money.
Ready?
All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works. That's how it works. There he is. Andy St. Clair's in the house. It's week after week. You guys know what time it is. You click the link. Here we are. Let's do it, man. Andy.
Yep.
You saw the Puffy verdict came back?
I saw he got, they didn't get him on the big one, but I saw he got the rest.
They didn't get him on anything. They only got him on one charge of prostitution.
Oh, that was the official. So I saw, maybe it was yesterday I was looking where he was like, did 2 through 5 they were good with, but the big one, the Rico one, they were not good with.
Yeah, they missed on all of them. All of them. They got him on prostitution. So I think that's like a $400 ticket, maybe $700 now.
He's gonna spend some time in jail though, right? He's gonna spend like
I don't think so.
years.
Is he?
I'm gonna look it up. I can't.
Time served, maybe. Yeah, look this thing up. He may be at whatever his sentences might have been time served. He's been locked up the last year.
He has. He's been. He's also like. The judge denied his bail, so that tells me he's not just leaving.
Yeah, I guess that's a little odd. I mean, here's the thing. While you're looking that up, we're never gonna know what this was really about. We're never going to know what this is really about. This was a really, really big to do that they were looking to nail him for something we don't know. We're never going to know, are we?
Right. No, God, no. It looks like you're right. It looks like Puff's gonna guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution, but he's not guilty of racketeering and sex trafficking charges. So those are the big ones.
Yeah, they got him on nothing.
Right.
I mean, he's going to be out next weekend.
The 2 things he's guilty of are the sentence is like 10 years. So 20 years, those are the 2. So 20 years, but it's going to be, they're going to add the months he's already been in jail. And so odds are he's probably going to spend like 2 or 3, 4 years in jail. And that's it.
Yeah. But tops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But hey, he told us more money, more problems.
Yeah, well, he had problems, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's all about the Benjamins, and now we'll be missing him when he goes away. We'll be missing him 3, 4 years federal prison. He's laughing at these guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not sure how he got away with it, but he's gonna get away with it. I saw there were people outside who were happy with it, and they were like spraying baby oil on themselves. I'm like, what is happening? What's
They were spraying baby oil.
Yeah. On themselves and on each other. Like that was the celebrate. Like it was the 4th of July.
America is hilarious now, man. Like we treat everything like sports.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to like Brangelina. Not Brangelina, before that, when it was him and Jennifer Aniston. Right. You know what I mean? Like when he cheated on her and got with Angelina Jolie, that was the mark for me in America, where everybody was like, no, everything's sports, man. You pick your team and it doesn't matter who they murder, you root for them.
Yeah, you're on their side until it's like your home team. You're just with them till the end.
Everything, politics, Hollywood, like everything is sports now. Like, no, that's my team. I got my jersey. I don't care who they rape. I root for them.
Right.
It's just fucked up, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Anyway, before we get going to the episode this week, I just want to take a minute and throw out some flowers to the next generation of athletes from the old neighborhood there, man. First and foremost, I want to give a little shout out to my niece, Gracie Fornash. She just finished up her senior year. She has been a 3-year varsity starter at Livonia Churchill High School softball. And now, Andy, this is a team that during her time there, she was a very big part of leading that team to like 3 district championships. Excuse me, a regional championship. Yep. And she was just awarded honorable mention all area for Metro Detroit. So big deal there, man. She's a great kid, man. Wish her the best. Gracie, love you. Congratulations. Great career there. I mean, these kids are coming up and they're balling, man. They're balling.
Where was she in the batting lineup? What was her place? Like 4, 5, 6?
Oh, right in the middle there. Right in the middle there. Right there? Oh, okay. Yeah.
She had some opportunities there.
Moved around quite a bit too. Pretty versatile kid.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, those I don't feel older until I look at like these high school athletes, like even the NBA draft, the guys who are like 18, 19. I'm like, oh, now those kids look young.
Yeah,
those kids look young.
Yeah, they look young, man. They look like babies. Like we're getting older. We're getting older, man.
Right.
All right, I just want to give another shout out to some good friends of mine from the neighborhood. Friends from high school wound up getting married. Terry and Dave Krapinski. Now their son Dominic, Andy, he's a rising star in college baseball right now. Rising star. Got a full ride to Indiana State out of high school, home of Larry Bird.
Yeah,
played there for a season or two, I think, and then just transferred to Miami of Ohio. Okay. And he's been playing at Miami, Ohio on the MAC. Let's go, MAC. This season led the team to the MAC championship and a College World Series berth. He was the MVP of the MAC tournament and has been invited to play in the Appalachian League, during the summer. Now, if you're not familiar with the Appy League is a part of MLB's PDP, which is their official player development pipeline. So this is like, kids get invited to go and play, and you don't just join the team,
Right. So, it's invitation only.
Yeah. He's playing for the Paw Tuckett, the Sock Puppets or something. We got a picture. I messed up the name. It's not Paw Tuckett, but he's playing for the Sock Puppets. But here he is on the roster here. Yeah, there we go. The Burlington Sock Puppets. So he's playing for the Burlington Sock Puppets in this thing. They are going to be playing against Team USA on July 4th. So that's a pretty big deal. I mean, kid's got a bright future. At the very least, this kid's going to be drafted and probably playing some minor league baseball at the very least.
Right.
Probably more than that at this level.
Right. He's going to get an opportunity to continue his, I can only assume his dream which would be to play professional baseball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Like he's tearing it up, man. He is doing really, really well. And the last set of flowers I want to give out. Hey, we all know this kid.
I've seen
that kid. We've seen that kid before. Now that's Nolan Wilson. Now, Andy, he just got his notification that he will be in this year's NCAA 26 video game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty excited. He's pretty excited about it. Now, he didn't get to be in the launch last year because he was right in between as he was transferring from Graham Lake State to University of Louisiana Monroe in the Sun Belt. Kind of in between there, so roster spot got lost in the shuffle when they were making it for the game. So he'll be on it this year. Man, he's pretty pumped about that. We're looking forward to a great season this year. Got games at Alabama, game at Northwestern, and then we got a game at UTEP, and then we got the Sun Belt. You know what I mean? Which is arguably, I would easily argue, I think, the best of the non-Power 4 conferences. I mean, every year they go to bowl games and crush, man, like top to bottom.
You'd have to give me a week, but off the top of my head, I would probably say no. But who is? I'd be like,
football wise, I mean, you know what I mean? They got the James Madisons and then Louisiana.
Louisiana's always good. Or
they're always real good. Marshall was really good the last bunch of years. I mean, they're loaded top to bottom every single year, man.
Let me ask you about Nolan. Does he get any? Do these players get any money? Do they get any residuals when people buy these games?
Yeah, every kid that's on the game gets a check for $1,500 and they get a copy of the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great.
Right.
Because I'll tell you what, man. I tell you, they weren't giving out any money for that kind of stuff back in the day. Because take a look at this here, man. Like father, like son. College football 97 with, you know who that is on the cover there?
I would guess Tommy Frazier.
That is Tommy Frazier, man. If you can get that old game for your Sega Genesis and fire up the old Chippewas, you have to go to the bench, but you can find number 82 at tight end there, man.
All right, let's check it out. I bought last year's, I have PS5, and I bought last year the first one, the one that came back out, the college football game. But as you know, and people, it doesn't really matter. I was kind of moving around a little bit, and we'd gotten a new place, and so basically what I'm saying is that game kind of got lost in the shuffle, right? So
I
did get it. I missed some important time to play it, and by the time I was about to get back into it, it was like late November, and I was like, I didn't want to play it anymore. I was like, it doesn't matter. I bought it because Missouri, when it came out, I had high hopes. I had Missouri to make the college football playoffs. I had some bets out like that. I played the game, and it was incredible. The few times I played it, the game was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
The stadiums, it's cool. They did a great job with that game.
It's amazing. It's amazing, man. I haven't played one in years, but I'll probably give this one a spin so I can get on there, pull up old 48 and see what we can do. Maybe I'll put him in at quarterback. I don't know. Maybe
let him know. I mean, I was thinking maybe this year I'd take a break, but now that I know Nolan's in it, maybe I calm it up and try to get back into it, give another shot.
I'm curious to see where they let you move guys around from that, like special teams and long snapping positions and stuff, and put them in the game and stuff. We'll have to see.
Right. The couple games I played, that was as Missouri. I was playing like really bad teams. I picked the bad teams, and I was like, I'm not going to practice. I'm just going to figure out the game while I played. And I got smoked like 2 or 3 times, and I was just so bad. I was like, Utah State should not be beating me like 42-12. Right. Like, it was just horrible.
Yeah. I just can't even play him anymore, man. I haven't played him in so long. I'll probably just get hammered. Missouri's going to have you guys got our running back from ULM last year, Hardy, first team All-American freshman running back. You're going to have fun watching him, man. He is a bruiser.
Yeah,
he is a bruiser.
Coach Drank will make some. He'll get those running backs out there. The offense will be good as always.
Yeah, it will. It will. Good luck to him. And you know what? Let's get into some quick hits. Let's keep this ball rolling here. But before we do that, we got to get to quick hits. Is brought to you by our sponsor, guys. Quick hits brought to you by Gold Dust Coffee. That's our sponsor. And they got Gordon Butterfield on the call for what just happened. Let's see what Gordon's getting into this week.
What just happened? What just happened is brought to you by the Gold Dust Coffee Company. Wake up to a golden dust sunrise of the freshest Kenyan farm coffee beans you'll find in all your favorite flavors, from espresso to vanilla. There's even hazelnut. Just scan the barcode and download the app, and you'll be well on your way to ordering the freshest coffee beans that Kenya has to offer. That's the Gold Dust Coffee Company, and don't forget to add your discount code DWMOD for 10% off. It's Gordon approved. It's always a game of chance on the giant water slide, but Janet Kopakowski's ready to see what turns up on the river. And take off. She's too stiff. That's a bad idea. Fusion surgery. Oh, my. Let's take another look and see where she destroys vertebrae C4 and 5 and 6 and 7. She's sky high and looks like she died 5 days ago. Rigor mortis. Oh, my. Her back's as red as a beet. What just happened?
That lady.
That's one of those where I feel like Gordon really enjoys that one. I think he likes that one.
He does like that one.
He just rips right into her. Like this is terrible.
Oh, from minute one, no athletic ability, just stiffens right up. Like who lets their head fall backwards as they're heading into the water? I mean, just oof. She's still not walking right. She still ain't walking right, man. All right, quick hits, man. We lost a legend. We lost a legend in Detroit the other day. Alex Del Vecchio passed away, 93 years old. Now, 93 years old, Andy, but still. This guy in 2017 was rated one of the top 100 players in the history of the NHL. This guy was a big part of the Detroit Red Wings locker room in the 50s. He was part of one of the most famous production lines. The production line kept changing players, and they kept calling it the production line because Gordie Howe was on it. But when he played, it was Del Vecchio, it was Ted Lindsay, it was Gordie Howe, and those guys won 3 cups together. This guy, he's just one of the greats, man. There's not much more else you can say about it. Rest in peace, Alex Del Vecchio. Big loss, man. Okay, I'm sure you saw this Malik Beasley gambling story. Now, if you guys haven't seen or read a bunch of that, because it doesn't seem to be what we do anymore. We just listen to the sound bites that the mothership throws at us, and then, and they make it really, really sexy and grab you, and they really throw guys under the bus, honestly, because Malik Beasley, here's what they say, sources, Malik Beasley the subject of a federal gambling probe. And then when I first heard this on the radio, Andy, all the sound bites that I was listening to on ESPN radio from Atlanta, they were all using the same talking points of Malik Beasley is the subject of a gambling probe by the government that involves prop bets. It's involving some of his games and prop bets that he was involved in. And I'm like, oh man, that don't sound good, because we're looking to try to re-sign him right now. Now, did you look any further into this thing?
No, not really. I've seen a few things about it, but I haven't delved too deeply into Malik's life here.
Yeah, well, it took about 2 seconds of work to just read the article for like a paragraph further, and then you just see how they're dragging this dude around just to get people to click and make stories. Here's the deal with this probe that is directly involving Malik Beasley. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. A gambling industry source had pointed out the game between the Bucks and the Portland Trail Blazers on January 31st of 24. The odds on Beasley recording fewer than 2.5 rebounds moved significantly at the sports book before the game, shortening it from around plus 120 to around minus 250. I mean, a lot of money was coming in on him hitting the under. Okay. Money swang big time. A lot of that activity was abnormal for the gamblers, and they thought to take a look at that. Well, here's what happened in the game. Malik Beasley wound up with 6 rebounds, and everybody that pushed and moved that and bet on that lost their bets.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with Malik Beasley. They're not investigating Malik Beasley. He didn't, you know what I mean? This is ridiculous. Usually when something moves like that on these baseball bets or these basketball bets, mainly these basketball prop bets they look into a lot. When the line moves like that, they look and see, did the guy specifically not get a bunch of rebounds, so those people won those bets? It's the exact opposite in this case. Everybody lost the bets. It just seemed to be an anomaly, but it's being reported as if Beasley is about to get banned from the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, once the FBI gets involved in this, that tells me probably there's something more to it. Like anything with the FBI involved. But hopefully now I'm like, hopefully there is something there to Malik is doing something, because like if not, he's just losing so much money right now. Like the Pistons would have re-signed that guy until till whatever this came out. Now they moved on.
I think they were offering him 3 years, 40-something million, and now they're holding that contract.
Now he can't get a handshake, would be my guess right now.
And I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing. Like, how is there any kind of fishiness involved there when the money that pushed the bet lost? Like, it all lost. Yeah. So I guess it pushed it the other way, that if he went over 2.5, maybe that paid a little bit, but not even the case probably.
Yeah,
nobody was betting that, or that would have moved, right? I mean,
right. Or was there a bet? Was there a bet that did the minus 250 win? Was he bet on that?
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, it was the over under, and all the money was coming in on him being under 2.5 rebounds, and he had 6. So you had to bet the over, which didn't have a lot of action.
Did you see that clip online about when he was with, I think, the Wolves a few years ago, and the spread, and there was like 9 or something, and they were down 10 with like 3 seconds left. And he took the ball and scored a layup, and his team, I think he was on the Wolves, lost by 8 and covered the spread. Everybody's like, here you go. Here's an example of Malik going out of his way.
I mean, I guess they're going to go back and find a bunch of that stuff now.
Well, that's the thing. That stuff is like kind of dangerous, by the way. Like, we're just accusing him of shit. He probably did do it in some way, but let's get our facts straight a little bit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's so irresponsible the way that they draw up these titles and stuff. Like they're investigating him directly. Like, they found some inconsistencies and everybody lost the bets. Let's relax, man. We get it, NBA. The draft is over. You're in a non-cycle right now. You need some clicks. We get it. All right, man. Hey, July 1st, baby. Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
Every July 1st, the Mets pay Bobby Bonilla $1.2 million. Buddy, greatest contract in the history of sports, or what?
It probably is, because it's been happening. He retired in like what?
Yeah.
2000.
Oh God.
98, 93. I don't know.
I mean, right around 2000, probably.
2001.
Yeah, maybe 01. A couple of
Dame has a pretty good buyout that just happened though. Just he's making 22 million for next 5 years.
Yeah, he still gets to collect like 113 million. Bonilla's going to be collecting that 1.2 million till 2035. So if you go back and look at, you got to range what these guys are getting paid to when they got paid. You know what I mean? Of course, you can't compare it to the $750 million that Ohtani got. But back when Bonilla guys were contracts, they were getting, for him to stretch that out for $1.2 million a year for the next 45 years. I mean, you know what I mean? That's a $50-60 million contract back then is crazy.
Deal.
It's crazy.
It's a great deal. Bonilla, what a great move by him. I mean, it's a great deal. I love Bobby Bonilla Day. I love it. It comes around and then, it's on Twitter or whatever. Like, I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Congratulations, Bobby Bonilla. Get over on them, boys. Get that money. I'm glad you brought up Damian Lillard a little bit on quick hits. I just want to hit this quickly. Now, I am not a fan of this ring culture and bringing in these aging players that want to jump on a rising team. I'm not interested in Durant. I'm not interested in a guy like that's going to come in. You got to reshape your whole offense, make it work. He's on the court a ton. I am going to say this. I would take a waiver on Dame Lillard right now with the Pistons, and here's why. Like you just pointed out, Andy, he's making $113 million over the next 4 or 5 years without, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter who he plays for. He's getting that money. I think he's kind of in a little bit of a Russell Wilson spot here where he'll play for cheap to be able to be on a contender maybe. He's coming back from that injury, so it's not like you bring him in and we're immediately revamping the offense, and so that's not going to be the case. He's got to rehab a bit before he's going to be able to play. So we keep going forward like we are with our offense, and when he comes in, he's a guy that, coming off the bench, hit some big shots, play some medium minutes, hit some big shots for a little bit of money. Why not?
I mean, I think there's probably a pretty good market for Dame. For Dame, I think there's going to be 10, 15 teams. Mainly because he will take like $1 million, $2 million. Maybe he'll take an exception for like $4 million, whatever. It's like the money he's already being paid. It doesn't even matter.
Right. Right.
I think he wants. What I've been reading about him is that he wants to like rehab in Portland. That's where his kids live. His wife, whatever. Yeah. And I kind of think he's going to be a Golden State Warrior. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh man, that's probably a good call.
Mainly because he's from the Bay, and this guy knows like his time's running out. Also, like seems like a nice little system for him to get in there. He can get some shots up, and I think it'll be like
Clay's old spot. Take Clay's old spot. Playing opposite of Steph, getting that catch and shoot.
Buddy, Steph, Butler, Draymond, Dame. You're gonna get some version of that. I think that's where I think he goes.
You nailed it.
I don't know if he's going to go to. He should go to the East, whatever the best team in the East is, which could be anybody. He should just pick that team. Yeah.
It was something that you'd be a good fit with. I mean, I might do that, but then again, like you said, though, man, he's an Oakland kid. I mean, that's just the dream, man. Play for the Warriors, still have a chance to win a championship, play opposite Steph, and those guys are going to get your shots. He'll probably wind up in the Bay. You're right. I think you nailed that. Listen, buddy, we are back on at Cutting Loose for Better Be Good. Better Be Good is back. New episode coming out next week.
Okay.
I'm only going to tease it a little bit. We went to this Ramyun Gallery, a Korean noodle and snack bar. I'm not going to have any spoilers. We're going to have a teaser for next week's show, and this episode will be out next week. But this place is crazy. It's like a slice out of how the stores work in Korea. You're going to see it. It's going to be on Cutting Loose in a week or so. We'll have a promo coming up next week. Man, excited about that. We're back on and running.
Again, though, you please weigh yourself now and then weigh yourself after like 10 episodes of that show.
Yeah.
Check your cholesterol. Like I know what's going to happen. You're just going to get in there and just plow food.
You have to. I mean, it's just most times when you're going to these places, Andy, it's delicious. You know what I mean? You're not heading to a shithole. You know what I mean?
No. That's not putting a shithole in these podcasts. You're going to a good spot.
And they keep bringing it. You're sitting at the table, they just keep bringing it, and you're like, they're like, no, try this, and you're like, yeah. I will tell you this: I had a red bean jelly ice cream sandwich.
Okay,
buddy.
Pretty good.
It was delicious. I was like, yeah, I'll try some red bean jelly. What the hell's that? You know what I mean? I bit into this thing and I just was like, this is fantastic, man.
Right,
You never know.
that's just dessert. You're not even talking about the meal.
I'm not even talking about the meal. I'm not even talking about the meal, man. You'll see it, guys. It's going to be coming around. But now it's time to get into your favorite segment, Andy. It's your show, bud.
No way. There's no way. No way.
I love it. I love it every time. Hey, let's talk a little bit about Major League Baseball All-Star Game. They just had the voting today.
Yep.
All the All-Stars are in. And Detroit looks like we're going to have four starters of the 9, because I'm assuming Skubal is going to be the starting pitcher, unless he says he doesn't want to. He will be the starting pitcher. Gleyber Torres, starting second baseman.
Yeah.
Riley Green will be starting in the outfield. And our last guy, if you would have told me, would be starting in the All-Star Game in the outfield before the season started, I would have laughed you out of the room. Javi Lopez is a starter in the outfield for the All-Star Game.
No way. There's no way. No way. He's been good. Baez's been good.
It's been great. It's been a feel-good story, man. The guy's rejuvenated. He's playing well. And it is just a testament to him, though, that like not only is he playing well and come back and hitting well and stuff, but he's hitting so well, they got to try to keep him in the lineup. And they've got so many good young infielders right now. They're like, where can we put this guy? And that's another testament to him, because they're like, doesn't matter where you put this guy. He's one of the best to ever flash the leather in the league. You can stick him anywhere, and he can win the Gold Glove.
Well, the American League, it's going to be Baez, Green, and Torres, and then the pitcher, right? That's the four.
Yep. And I got one more for you now. Now, this is in no way right up your alley. If I would have told you before the season started here, Andy, that a rookie shortstop named Wilson for the Oakland Athletics, playing at a minor league baseball park up in Sacramento, would start over Bobby Witt Jr. in the All-Star Game, I'm guessing you might have said,
no way. There's no way. No way. No way.
What's going on, man?
Well, the Royals can't hit. Bobby Witt's going to be Bobby Witt should just be automatic starter. I'm confused why he's not automatic starting. But I didn't know. I have to admit, I didn't know this kid. I saw a story last week about him, and I read a little bit of it. I'm like, oh, he seems awesome.
Yeah,
sure, but he's not better than Bobby Witt. What are we doing?
No, he's not better than Bobby Witt. He's having about the same year right now. He's been a little hotter lately. Bobby's not off to a hot start, but I'm not going to blame Bobby for that. The guys aren't hitting around him. I mean, the Royals' problem this year has been run production big time.
The Royals can't hit. It's painfully bad. They cannot hit. It's bad.
I mean, the only team stealing that headline on you is the Braves.
Right.
They can't score for shit. And I'm like, but listen, Bobby's going to be fine. But the Royals need to do something, man. I'm telling you, your pitching staff is good. I mean, the pitching staff is good. Bubik is probably number 2 to Skubal in the American League right now, unless I'm missing somebody.
I mean, he's good. I'm just like, just if we're going to be bad, let's just go really bad. Let's just get a good draft pick and be bad.
Yeah, but that's a little different in baseball, though.
Yeah,
isn't it?
No, it is.
Because it doesn't turn around for 10 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that number 1 pick, unless you get a Paul Skeens, which is rare, or a Jeter or something, which you normally don't, it's 4 or 5 years before you even see him come up.
Right.
You know, so I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe, they'll probably get it together, but I don't think they're going to be in the hunt to win the Central this year.
No way. There's no way. No way.
All right, let's talk a little NBA, because, for me, I'm always like, look, this league just cannot get out of its own way. Mm-hmm. All right, now they've got an issue with the Stuper Max. They call it a Super Max. I call it the Stuper Max. SGA just signed his Stuper Max deal, $285 million deal.
Yeah.
Over the next 5 years, I think it's 5 years to 2030 or something like that, right? In the last year, his contract, he stands to make $85 million in one season, Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, the cap.
What are they doing?
That's the way it's going, though. Like that. Like LeBron just opted into his deal for
$53 million.
Yeah, $53 million. It's just the way these contracts are going out here in the NBA with everything. But it's hard. It's hard to imagine.
Listen, this is the NBA. This is the NBA being the NBA. They have been bad business for the longest time, and it started already to catch them in the ass, and then they got back a little bit, and this one's going to catch them right back in the ass. Because here's the deal: I think they have a $77 billion TV deal or something that stretches 10 plus years or something that they just inked. So I think that like that money's coming from that. They're like, oh man, we're flush for the next 10 years. That's not what a good building business who's trying to rebound off bad business. We've discussed on the show before. Ads down, viewership is down, ads are down, you're losing money. And now you got this big chunk of money. And the first thing you do is just start handing it out to the players. I mean, in 5 years, you're going to have guys making $85 to $100 million. That's 77 billion. Poof, gone.
But they'll expand, right? They're going to add. So that's how it works, right? They're going to get a new expansion team or two, probably one in Vegas and one in Seattle. And then that money will go to the owners, right? Because when that happens, the owners split that money, right? They split it. They split that. Then all goes equally and fairly. So like they'll gain the money. They're going to get more teams. Like, they're going to be okay. It is out of control though. I mean, like SGA making like 85 million a year is. I mean, how do you trade that guy? Let's just say SGA is just like turns into a pumpkin in like 3 years. He's untradeable.
Yeah, you can't. He's untradeable. You're going to eat that contract. And furthermore, like we discussed 100 times on the show, Andy, the NBA is not the NFL. The NFL could do things like this, and they won't because they're smarter, but they could do things like this because they can sit down and look at their numbers and their TV deals, and they're growing like crazy, and their viewers go up every year. And they could sit in a room and have the attitude of, we ain't going down. We're only going to keep getting more money. I don't know where the NBA, looking at their books, thinks they have the ability to sit in a room and go, the money's going to just keep growing. Your viewership's going down every year. I don't know where these facts are coming from for them.
Yeah, I don't know. They're gonna, after this TV deal's done, they'll have to make more. I'm on a little more on the opposite side. It's a global game. That's how they get the money, right? Like they're getting to China. They get into, maybe they start doing more like what the NFL does, which I think they're doing, which is having games in Germany, have 2 or 3 games here, and there. Like Silver, while an okay commissioner, is a lawyer. And I only say that to say, like, smart dude. He's going to figure out a way, he's going to keep expanding it. Basketball is a worldwide is a bigger game than football. And, they just have to, it's not football, like it's whatever. So like that's how they get there, like that's where they, like, look, the Trailblazers took that kid Hanson Yang at 16, who's like, sure, they took the guy because he's 7 foot tall, but they also took him because he's from China. And there's money there, right? And look what the Dodgers are doing. And like it's like the Dodgers have kind of become China's team, right? Like they're going to make money doing overseas.
They become Japan's team for sure. Yeah. No, but you make a good point. But the difference is, you got guys like that are global stars that are like Ohtani style stars. I don't know, man. It's just different in baseball. A lot more games. The numbers are on the rise big time in baseball because of the rule changes they made in the last couple of years. I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm just like, this would be a time where the NBA might need to go, hey, we need to level out a little bit so we can grow and expand. We can't grow and expand and then give it all out right away. I don't know. I think I saw an interesting fact in 2006, I think. So just 20 years ago, the highest paid salary in the NBA was $14 million.
Right.
And now that's the league average.
Right.
I don't know another league could say that.
It's crazy though. You're not wrong about that.
It's crazy.
It's insane. If you have a very tall child, please get them into the basketball.
I mean, but not year round because you'll blow your Achilles out. And we're going to be heading down that road in a little bit here. I'll tell you that.
No way. There's no way. No way.
Okay, interesting little fact here that I really don't find these things interesting. I find them more ignorant and like wasting my time than anything. But I'll share this because it's been getting shared a ton. Here, career rushing yards from Lamar Jackson, 6,173. Career rushing yards for McCaffrey, 6,387. And that is crazy to think about. Now, Andy, what year did McCaffrey come into the league?
I would say 17 would be my
He
guess.
came in the year before Lamar?
I would say so, but
Okay.
But that's
about the same, though. Yeah, about the same. It's either the year before or the year after. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
so
2017.
There you go. So McCaffrey's been hurt a bunch. He's missed a lot of time. Lamar Jackson is the all-time leading rusher from the quarterback position in the sport.
Right.
I don't find it crazy. Do you find it crazy?
No, I don't find it crazy. It tells me McCaffrey missed basically last year, right? Missed the whole, ultimately most of the season.
And like 2 years ago, same thing when he was in Carolina.
He's missed a few more years, it tells me that Lamar is super awesome and he's an awesome, with the ball in his hands running.
Right.
It also tells me McCaffrey is too, because McCaffrey's did that in like 5 years, 6 years.
Right. And also like another $4,500 yards receiving, which is also, you're not rushing the ball when you're involved in a play to catch the ball out of the backfield because you're so goddamn good at that. It kind of just makes sense. I don't find it crazy.
Not crazy. I mean, I think I think I would lean, I'm more impressed with Lamar.
Sure.
Yeah, mainly because, once 2022 comes around, like everybody's like, okay, this guy might run. So let's spy on him. Like they start defending it. Still tells me Lamar's getting away some, but you could argue the same thing for McCaffrey, where people like by 2022, everybody's like, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
Let's make sure he doesn't run all over us.
Yeah, especially the Carolina years. It was like, just pack the box. You know
what I mean?
What are we going to lose to the Panthers? You know what I mean? You're not. But that's just my segue to the real no way here. The real no way here, and this one blew my mind. Let's compare some rushing yards between a guy we had on the show last week, Bo Jackson, and Jim Harbaugh.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh, 2,787 yards. Bo Jackson, 2,782 yards. Now, that's crazy to me that Jim Harbaugh has rushed for more yards than Bo Jackson. Andy, what's your take on that?
Well, even by that, like Harbaugh did it in 140 more games, right?
Yeah, pull that back up, Louis. Pull that back up one time.
140 more games. Now, only like 50 basically more attempts. But
that's the thing.
But I would argue, like what's happening is they're dropping like a bunch of dudes in back for playing the pass. And those lanes were so wide open for Harbaugh.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you could explain it.
140 games. He had 560 attempts, right? So that's like, what are we talking about? 4 times a game he's running. That's on average 3 or 4 times a game. Yeah, Let's say he does that and gets like 3 times. He surprises teams, get like 10 to 15 yards.
Sure.
Not even that's too much, but you know what I'm saying.
Competitive dude. He might have been doing that and picking his spots and not.
Yeah, he picks his spots a little.
Yeah, he's got way more carries, and I looked at that and said, okay, he's got like way more carries and played longer. But the thing that got me was it was the number of carries, not games. I'm sorry, his carries were like almost exactly the same as Bo's. They both averaged 5 yards and the same amount of carries. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, but Bo was playing 10 dudes in a box.
He was.
Harbaugh's playing no dudes in a box.
Yeah, he was.
So those guys the receivers are 40 yards downfield. Harbaugh can't get it there, and he's like, I gotta run. And he runs for 10 to 15 yards. This is what I'm saying. He does that like 2 or 3 times in the game. The next thing you look at his stats, he's like 3 rushes, 27 yards. You're like, okay, you do that over 140 games half the time. You're gonna have how many ever yards you have.
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh just seems to be like Paul Bunyan. Like no matter where you look, the legend just grows, and you just hear another story of amazingness. Never something like, oh, that guy wasn't that great. It's always something crazier with him, man.
No way. There's no way. No way.
Okay, this one's crazy to me. I don't understand this. I can't make any. Maybe you saw this today. It just broke today. Lindsey Hunter is now the head varsity boys basketball coach at Sparta High School in Michigan. Now, I'm a little bit familiar playing my college ball in mid-Michigan with this school. This is not a big-time school. This is this little middle of Michigan type of thing for him. This is a guy that was a longtime NBA assistant, was an NBA All-Star, if I'm not mistaken. He had some good years with the Pistons, then moved on with some competitors. Was the head coach of the Suns for a little bit, if I'm not wrong. I think he was the head coach of the Suns as an interim or something. I think it was the Suns. He was a head coach in the NBA anyway. And then the last bunch of years, he was the head coach at Missouri Valley State in the SWAC, took them to the tournament. Looked like he was a rising star in the college circuit.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he kind of just disappeared, and now he pops up in Sparta, Michigan. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't even add up to me, Andy, like the math of, oh, well, maybe he's got a kid he had when he was playing with the Pistons that's there or something, or that don't even add up. That would have been too long ago. That kid would be in college.
Right. Yeah, it's like I guess it's like this guy must love the game. I'll give him that. If he's like, I'm going to go coach this like this town that's not very big and not very small, but like middle-sized town high school basketball team.
But he don't even live in Michigan or anything. Like, it's all odd and weird. Like, wherever you would think he'd go back to like where he's from or any high school in America. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's up.
The weird side of me would be like, just to play devil's advocate, like this is how he thinks he gets back into the pro game or the college game, right? He builds a little bit. His teams are kind of good. And then he moves up. He goes back up the ladder again,
That may be. I don't even know what the fallout was there at Missouri Valley State. He had them. I think they won the SWAC and went to the tournament a few years back. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I don't think I am. I think they were one of the better teams in the SWAC a few years back. Listen. I don't know. I can't explain it. Maybe we can get him on the show to talk about it now that he's here with not a whole lot to do. I don't know.
Yeah. No way. There's no way. No way.
All right, buddy. We're going to get to the next segment here. But before we do, let's take a second. Let's just take a quick second here to plug where we're going to be next month. August 8th. We're going to be at the Detroit Improv Festival. We're going to be performing live with Flying Chuck. Look at this lineup here, Andy. Look at these guys, man. Hosted by the Nemes brother, TNA Tag Team Champs, John Hennigan. You might remember as John Morrison with WWE, but he's Johnny Detroit. He's Johnny Slam. He's Johnny Everybody, man. Mark Rozeka, he's he's the CEO and founder of the Sketch School. You got Dad Style Comedies, Brian Hunt's on this thing. Second City's Brett Cannell's going to be on this thing. A couple of guys from the little show called DWMOD podcast are going to be on this thing, especially a guy named Andy St. Clair, who's been on multiple sitcoms and written on multiple sitcoms you've seen on television. This thing's loaded. It's gonna be fun.
It'll be fun. It's always fun to go. Also, going to a town where people are from is fun because everybody wants to like hit up different spots. So that'll be fun. The show will be fun. The guys are fun. The Nick and Dolph or Ryan. Or Nick is Dolph. So Nick and Ryan will those guys will they're always fun and funny and
they're always good. Those guys, they're class act dudes, man.
Yeah, Morrison's a goofball too. So it's like it's not like there's a bad time in that group. Ultimately.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all, man. Not at all. I remember we were doing Flying Chuck in LA and Morrison was there for one of the shows and we were backstage and he was like, hey man, I'm going to be gone for a while. I'm not going to be able to come back and do any more shows and I'm not going to be wrestling for a minute. I don't remember if you were at that show or not. We were all backstage like, what are you talking about? What's going on? Are you retiring or something or whatever? He goes, nah, man, I'm not supposed to say nothing to none of you guys or whatever. But man, I just went and got all my shots today. I'm leaving tomorrow for Survivor.
Oh,
we were like, what?
Wow.
You're going to be on Survivor?
Well, the thing about Morrison too is like that dude is a freak athlete.
Oh man.
It's unbelievable.
I'm trying to I can't remember off the top of my head, and I apologize for this, John, but the name of that movie that he made that was like a spoof on Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah. I don't remember the name.
I can't remember what it was called. Me and Brett went to the premiere, and the bad guy in the movie was the bad guy from Kindergarten Cop, and it was a legitimate movie, And it was like he had the perfect tone in it. He's doing all these crazy wrestling things as this bounty hunter. But he had like the perfect comedic tone that like he was kind of like it was supposed to be funny, but kind of serious. It was good, man. It was good. I'm going to post the name of it. I can't remember, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, he's awesome. And Ryan is so funny. And Nick or we'll just call him Dolph. I think most people know him as Dolph.
Most people
Dolph's a fun dude. So like those guys are awesome.
Yeah.
They're
A
really
lot of
great.
people don't know that Nick is an extremely talented, or not Nick, Ryan. Ryan is an extremely talented artist, man. Like
Yeah.
he's drawn pictures of all my dogs for my wife. He does these crazy dog sketches.
Yeah.
And they're fucking awesome. They're
Yeah.
like crazy.
Ryan, I know well as you do. Like Ryan's a great guy. He's worth coming to see. And I've met Dolph like I don't know 5 to 10 times in my life. And he's been great every time. So
every time. Every time. Good dude. It's going to be good fun. Come out and check out that show. You better get tickets. I don't know if it's already sold out.
I don't know.
Usually we're doing 2 shows at this thing. They got us for one on Saturday this time, or Friday night this time. And I know, I think you and Brett and Mark will also be playing in an all-star show on Saturday at the festival.
I learned it like a day ago. Whenever I signed the contract, I learned it. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'll be there.
They get their money's worth, man. You're going to be in 2 shows, buddy. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get there. We're going to have a lot of fun doing that. And on that note, let's get to my favorite title card segment, promo, little sketch here, because we get to hear Jamie every week. It's hilarious, man.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
All right, Andy. I have been seeing this meme making its rounds on the internet, and my God, it makes my blood boil. It makes my blood boil a little bit. This one right here. I want to see the same energy toward Justin Tucker that I saw all y'all have toward Deshaun Watson.
Right.
He should be getting the same shit that Deshaun Watson got.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. Justin Tucker, arguably one of the greatest kickers in the history of the NFL, the most accurate kicker in the history of the NFL, a longtime staple of the Ravens, going to be a Hall of Famer, probably would have had his number retired by the Ravens. And for a kicker, that's a big deal. This guy, tops of the tops of the tops, got cut and let go by his team. I believe Deshaun Watson got handed $285 million.
Yeah.
So I think Justin Tucker would love the same kind of fucking energy that Deshaun Watson got. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I also Tucker the last year or two wasn't Justin Tucker anymore. So
probably because of this.
It was kind of an easy cut for the Ravens, to be honest. We don't need the headache. We don't need this headache. We're out.
Mentally locked in, and then when you got 20 women coming forward going, that guy loves to show his dick, you start missing kicks.
You as a kicker, once you start showing your dicks, you're going to get cut. Like Butker for the Chiefs, that guy's just a dick. He's just an asshole. He's like, he's an
asshole.
He's the worst, but he still makes kicks. I mean, I'll admit, like, he goes out there. Part of me is like, I would love to see him miss this because I think he's a dick. But then he makes a huge kick and the Chiefs win by 3, and I'm like, that's our guy. I'm like, my friends and I will send text to each other like, get to the kitchen. Here comes Butker, right? Like we're horrible people about like how we don't care what he says, even though it's fucking horrible.
Back to what we started the show with, man. Everything's sports, man. It's your team. You root for your team no matter what they do.
Right.
No matter what they do.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Okay, the biggest thing driving me crazy in sports talk right now, guys, and let me look right into the camera and tell you this. It is how mysteriously confused we all are on all these sports shows about all these Achilles and knee injuries. We can't explain it. It's such an oddity, especially in basketball. We don't understand what this is, and we need to try to figure out what it might be. I'll tell you what it is, Andy. And me and every other doctor in America knows and has been saying for years. It's these kids becoming specialized in a sport at 6 years old, especially basketball, where you're playing 7 games a week. You're playing year round. It's nonstop. And then when you want to get to the next level, the training is nonstop. And it's not the same as the training for a football or a baseball or hockey or something, where, especially football, where you're training to get bigger, you're training to get faster. And basketball, you're specifically training explosion. You want to be able to explode off the floor higher, quicker. You want to be able to get that first step and dribble and explode around a guy. So here's an example of why these guys are blowing out their Achilles after 25 years of 1 million games and training sessions like this. Yeah, this is what these guys are doing. This guy's doing this up a hill. Now,
really
this
insane.
I don't know what this kid's training for. It might be football, might not. But here's my point. We're doing ridiculous shit like this because we think it gives us an edge over everyone else.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why all these Achilles are popping.
That's an insane train video. What I'd love to know what that guy's training for.
It cuts off too early at the end there. Something to do with this program we're using. When it goes to cut back to us, it cuts off like a second and a half.
Crazy.
So not Louis' fault.
Okay.
But they turn around and show the view down the hill. That's an incline he's going up.
Yeah. Is it?
You know what I mean? So between the Achilles and the Tommy John, nobody talks about confusion with the Tommy John in baseball. Everybody that talks about that goes, oh, we know what this is from.
Mm-hmm.
At age 12, they're pitching 1 million innings, and the only way you get ahead in baseball is to throw 100 miles an hour. Nobody learns how to pitch anymore. You got to throw it as hard as you can, 100 fucking million times, and then you blow your arm out by the time you're 22.
Yeah,
but in basketball, we're denying it.
Yeah, but basketball, like they're playing too many games ultimately. I'm not even talking about AAU. I'm talking about the NBA. NBA is like it's got 82 is a lot of games, and when you go see these games, like they're just more physical. There's just better athletes. Like these things are going to happen a little more. They're not happening a lot. We had like 8 this year, and I think that's right, 8 total. But they were to some big players, right? So like that, and like Tatum's 27, Halliburton's 25. Like it used to be. I mean, I always think of it as like it happened to like dudes who are like 37, in the NBA, and then you would be like, well, he's done. Enjoy retirement.
Yeah.
So, it's these guys. It's the game's a little different. They're playing a lot of games. They're more physical. Like it's going to happen a little bit.
There was another very interesting. I got to track it back down. There's another very interesting article I was reading from a doctor who was stating there's a little more science to this than just like they're training a little too hard and wearing these muscles and ligaments and things down quicker. He said it's also your body type. Right. A lot of these guys that are blowing out their ACLs in football, Achilles in basketball, he's getting real specific. He was saying, you look at a lot of their body types, your frame isn't meant to hold that kind of weight. So those certain guys shouldn't be training to make those muscles so strong and have such explosion because your ligaments and your joints aren't built to withstand that. And then you're blowing yourself right out of your own shoe. It's like dropping a 450 motor into a tempo. You're going to blow the tires off it. Yeah.
And also, like, if you get a calf injury, you might want to chill. You might not want to play for a little bit, like a week or two break. You know, I get Halliburton is game 7, had to play. I get it. But if any, regular season calf injury, take a seat just for a little.
Sit it out. That's the first thing you do to compensate. Start putting extra weight in a ball of your foot and your Achilles. It's the first thing you do. Yeah. You got to chill on that.
All right, everyone. Time to do me a favor and knock it off.
Okay. This is the last one for knock it off here, Andy. This is kind of a fun one, but for me, it's kind of like, just shut the fuck up. This is the stupid, like, who is even believing this story, regardless of what you think of Wade Boggs? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This 73 beer story. Check this out.
We understand we're not on a plane here. But we understand you're not on a plane. But at least in the Fanatics Fest, we might get a little thirsty. So we figure we'll bring you this.
It's got an airplane on it. They're going to have him sign it. Look, they got the 72 pack. Boggs is going to sign it. Now listen. They're going to ask him.
So how many did you drink?
How many did you drink?
73?
73. 73. That's the legend of Wade Boggs. He says it, and other guys will claim it's true that he drank 73 beers on a flight from Boston to LA.
Yeah. It's crazy.
No.
It's crazy.
It's impossible. He would be dead. Andre the Giant, I might listen to this story.
Right. It's crazy.
It's bullshit.
I mean, I know that's a long flight. What is that? 6 hours? 7 hours?
Let's say it's 7. Let's say it's 7 hours, Andy. You got to drink
10 an hour.
10 an hour. I'll challenge anybody on this show right now to drink 10 beers in 1 hour and see how you feel, and then repeat that for a second hour. I would bet you we might get one nutball that could get through 2 hours, and he would throw up and pass out.
Yeah.
10 beers an hour for 7 hours. Let's give them a benefit of the doubt and say they had a layover on a tarmac in Minneapolis or something, and this thing was 12 hours.
Sure.
I don't think you're drinking 73 beers in 12 hours.
Right. At that point, you're averaging 6 beers an hour.
Yeah.
They're not
Do 6 beers an hour for 4 hours and see how you feel. That's a case. Drink a case of beer in 4 hours and let me know how you feel.
Yeah, no, you can't do it. Why would I? Why would I?
It's such bullshit. You couldn't drink 73 NA beers. You couldn't drink 73 glasses of water in 7 hours.
No, I couldn't. No way.
No, that's going to be the next TikTok challenge. Drink 73 glasses of water in 7 hours. And kids are going to die.
Do the bogs.
Yeah, do the bogs, but kids use water, and we're going to have dead kids, man. But more kids will die doing that than Tide Pods.
I like that Wade looks like an old country singer now. Like he looks like an old country singer.
Louis, put that back up.
We understand we're not on a plane here. But we understand you're not on a plane. But at least in the Fanatics Fest, we might get a little thirsty, so we figure we'll bring you this.
I need all the cast from Always Sunny to sign it too.
I'm looking at that thing. I'm saying, yeah, you're right. He looks like an old country singer, but to me, he also looks like one of those really, really bad renditions of a young Jesus on an elementary school gym wall. Look at that.
We understand we're not on a plane here. But we understand you're not.
It looks like white Jesus. This white Jesus with the short hair. Anyway, Wade Boggs, let me just tell you that I'm not even going to tell you to knock it off. I'm going to tell you.
No way. There's no way. No way.
Absolutely no way. There is no chance in hell you drink 73 beers in that amount of time. All right, let's jump to our last segment of the week. One you guys are usually looking forward to because we're giving out tips on All Right Bet. And All Right Bet is brought to you by the official beer choice of the DWMOD podcast, guys. That's Old English 800. Get yourself some Brass Monkeys. You saw we posted last week. Me and producer Louis were having them right by the pool. We're not bullshit. This is not for show. This is one of our favorite beverages on this show.
Brass monkey, that funky monkey, brass monkey chunky.
I love it. Love it on a hot day by the pool. You cannot beat it. And I'm telling you, you get a way better charge out of that than some old margarita. I'll tell you that right now, man.
Sure.
Hey, let's jump into some All Right Bet, and I'm going to fill you in on some things. It's time for another episode of All Right Bet. All right, we're handing out the Big Six picks every single day across all our social media with the Major League Baseball. We're doing that. But before I jump into those baseball picks right away, Andy, I want to tell you this. We found out a couple of weeks ago that we were number 7 on Apple Podcasts for sports podcasts that give out gambling tips. We're number 7. Really proud of that. It's great. Awesome. I found out the other day that in all of podcasts with gambling tips, podcasts that have gambling tips on them, we are in the top 100. There is a thing online called Millions Podcast, and it's like a AI thing for podcasts. These guys have this company, and it like totally analyzes all these shows so that they can, market it to these companies. Go on there and pay for a subscription so they know which guys they might want to try to pick up and buy. Blah 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 blah. That's how this works. So this is all analyzed by a computer. It's in somebody's made up list of NBA players they like. We landed in the top 100. I mean, not too many spots behind shows like Dan Patrick, his betting show that he has because he can't gamble anymore, so he gambles through his fen, which is kind of a brilliant little idea. It's a fun show. But top 100 on that, guys. We're moving on up.
Come on.
We're moving on up, man.
Let's go.
That's because of you guys. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys. Now, those baseball picks are every single day. You just check us out on the social media. I'm handing them out every single day. We had one losing day in the last 2 weeks. Our record right now in the season so far, Andy, we are 288 wins to 224 losses. So we're getting up, like we're above 60. We're above plus 60 on this thing right now. Looking good. A couple of days ago, we were 5-1, 4-2 the other day. Before we jumped on this show, we were already 3-0 today. We'll see if we get a 6-0 day. When I get off here, I'll be checking some scores. So keep tuning in on that, guys. Keep tuning in on that.
Well, you're killing it on those. You're destroying.
And if you just play it smart, I still get the comments all the time, Andy. I get the comments, I get the DMs where people are like, hey, man, we didn't hit yesterday. And I'd be like, wait a minute. We went 3-3 yesterday. So you didn't hit because you're trying to hit the 6-teamer. You're not going to hit that every day, guys. No, you got to play some 2 and 3 teamers. You got to mix them up, 2 and 3 teamers, get out of there with a win. Right? That's the name of the game, Andy. We keep trying to tell these guys the name of the game is not to win big. The name of the game is don't lose.
Right. Exactly.
and put the pennies away, man. Keep stacking them up. You just got to keep stacking them up. So stay with us. We're handing those things out like crazy. Next week, we're going to get into some home run derby bets for you guys. We're going to have some good long shot odds. Andy's been digging. He said he's going to have some good stuff for us on the home run derby about who we should play, how this thing shakes out. You're always dialed in on that kind of stuff. You nail it with those, the golfer. Like, it's got to be a guy that's done this, who's done that, who, like, all that stuff, man. We're going to trust you on that like we normally do. We're going to have some of that coming up. That's going to be the 14th. So we'll get that in on the next episode for sure. I think we got the British Open around the corner, maybe.
Yeah, it's coming up. We'll start looking at some odds for that for sure and see who we like.
Yeah, that's coming up.
That thing tends to be crazy. It's not, that's a crazy event. So yeah,
that's that. You know what? It's going to get a little showed up by the U.S. Open this year, but that's usually the one where the scores are low. But
that's right. That's true.
We'll see. We'll see about that. But we're kind of in that zone right now, guys, where baseball's kind of the only thing we can play right now. We're fooling around with some NFL futures, right? We're looking at some of that. We had some of that on the show the other week. But, next week we'll have some fun with the home run derby. We'll be looking at the British Open. We'll be sticking with the baseball for the time coming, but football's right around the corner, Andy. We're looking for a big year on the Big Six Pick Show this year. We are lining up some good guests, man. You know how that works.
We're going to get some good ones. I'm going to try to loosen my grip on the dog, even though I know the Lions are a 1.5 point dog at Green Bay in week 1. And I'm going to be on the Lions in week 1.
Hell yeah.
Plus 1.5.
Yeah. Listen, Jordan Love's going to have to show me he can beat the Lions before I'm not going to bet the Lions to beat Green Bay.
I mean, come on. I also love, by the way, is the opening night. I love the Cowboys +7 at Philly.
Man.
All day. Give it to me all day.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Let's just jump on that one now because that line is going to move down.
Yeah, right. And then So I'm trying not to look too into the week 1, but I also do like the Chiefs -3 in Brazil versus the Chargers. They could be on the fucking moon. The Chiefs beat the Chargers by 3 at least. So you probably stick with the Chargers actually, but yeah.
Every time. Listen, if it gets to 3.5, I might think about the Chargers.
Yeah.
But listen, because Jim Harbaugh is Paul Bunyan. But listen, no, I'll be on the Chiefs for that one too. There's going to be some good week 1 games that we should line up. We should line up a parlay for week 1 right now and put a little money on it and just keep racking on it.
You know what I like to do, because week 1, week 2 are always a little crazy, is like get me like a 3 or 4 team underdog money line parlay. Just give it to me and let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see how that thing shakes out, man. Let's see how that thing shakes out. We'll have some of that for you guys next week on All Right Bet. But for now, let us leave you with this thought here. Now, Andy, I saw this online the other day. I didn't see this billboard myself, but this is right along the lines of All Right Bet. I saw this billboard in a meme. 20% of people with a gambling problem will file for bankruptcy.
Sure.
That's the wrong billboard for some gamblers, is it not?
Yeah, it's wrong.
Yeah. You tell me I only got a 1 in 5 chance?
Yeah, come on.
4 of us are going to win. 1 of us is going to go bankrupt. I'm gambling.
Right. Well, it's not even winning, but 4 of us can control it. As long as I'm in the 4 that can control it.
Right. Only one of us is going to lose it. Nah, I'm in, man. I'm in on that.
I'm willing. That's 80%. That's good odds.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that all day long, man. Well, listen, guys. Hey, that's it for this week. Thanks for listening, Andy. As always, man, good times, good friends, good drinks. Get yourself some Old English 800. Enjoy the weekend, 4th of July. If you're not barbecuing and having a couple of brass monkeys, listen, I would love to see some people post some pictures of brass monkey on the page.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, come on. Let's see some posts on the page. Slide out of the DMs and put some posts on the page of some brass monkey stuff. That'd be great, fellas. And we'll see you next time.
Ready? College football is now B1G versus SEC.
Down. Hook. If you ain't listening to All Right Bet with me and Andy St. Clair, you're throwing away money.
Ready?
All Lions fans drinking that Kool-Aid. Super Bowl. Hey, disagree with me or don't. That's how it works.